Hey love bugs, this is Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support. It is truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you've been watching my videos for a while and have not already subscribed, like and subscribe. It'll truly be appreciated, so you can be able to get notifications of when I upload a video. And please share. I'm sending so much energetic love, oneness, where if you're going through to get through, you're going through to get to, that's what I meant to say. You're going through spiritual warfare, you're going through different changes you are not yet familiar with, and it really feel like it's taking you out for the count. I'm sending so many beautiful, uplifting and alignment. It's like, you are not messing around with my throat chakra today. I'm gonna keep speaking. You're going through any situations or whatever where you're going through, and you're still trying to, get your bounce back, get your get back, get your glow up. I'm sending so much love and upliftment your way. Keep going, keep going. You gotta press pause, rest, recalibrate, recharge, and get back up and keep going. Do not sleep on yourself and do not give up. That is not an option. And anybody, like I said before, if anybody trying to send anything, the various vibe towards me, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. The last video I did, because it's a miracle, God don't got me talking about no Heyokas today. I'm doing different spiritual insights that's going on, through magic. My last video was about mirror magic, monitoring spirits, love spells, and X magic. You gotta be very, very cautious, selective about the words that you use. Gotta change the verbiage up a little bit. But this video is called Twin Flame. Well, it's not even. Being mindful of your surroundings. You're opening Pandora's box for generational knowledge that folks don't want, that wants to keep it closed. And I forgot to tell y'all in my last video about monitoring spirits. There was one thing, I covered a lot of stuff, but I forgot to tell y'all about that. If you are in your house, or if there's certain, a lot of times you got spirit animals that, like if you're walking in nature, doing stuff like that. But if you start having like gnats and flies, you get insect infestation. When you have people like sending negative energy towards you, all of a sudden in your house you'll have a lot of insect infestations. A lot of times you can have everything closed up and you're in your room or you're meditating, and all of a sudden you see this annoying gnat that's in front of you, swat it, because it's a spiritual monitoring spirit. And I forgot to tell y'all that. This video is like, be mindful of your surroundings. I've been hearing that a lot lately. I've been watching different videos and doing different meditations and stuff like that, and you find out a lot of things. Like a lot of people on TikTok, because I don't do TikTok, but I watch a lot of videos that they place, thank God, on YouTube for that, because I don't really like getting into all those different social medias. It's just too much heavy stuff out there I ain't trying to connect with like that. Where they're talking about different love spells that done backfired, or black magic that went totally wrong, different things like that. And I found that very insightful for this stuff, and I was like, dag, is it really that serious? But like for some people, yeah, it is. And it's like, with situations like that, you got to F around and find out, because a lot of stuff is going on in the life right now, especially within yourself. You're going through a lot of changes, and it's like, when you're going through change, it's really testing your inner gangster. It's like everybody gangster until the time comes gangster-ish, and you're really going through it. You're leveling up, and more you level up, going towards different ventures into your life. You're being guided towards different paths to take and stuff like that, to where it does a shift. You probably on a situation of healing, uplifting yourself, empowering not just yourself but other people. You're starting to, a lot of people are starting to connect with you in different ways. You may be talking about spiritual stuff, or you see different things that you're no longer connected with, or you no longer have access of interest to. You're going through those different changes. It's like, hey, it's time for you to upgrade. It's time for you to broaden your horizons, change what you're, when you're going through those intense spiritual changes, it's like you got to be so cautious about the books you read, about the movies you watch, about the videos you watch. It's like, because that's energy transference when you're doing those different things. And so when you're opening up Pandora's box, you already know, you know. And it's like you're doing this within your generation. There's a lot of people that have been called to be that generational curse breaker. Like your family anointed you. You signed the paperwork at the beginning of time and saying, yes, I'm going to come back here and keep reincarnating and doing it again and again and again until I finally get it right. And you had to go through these things on every lifetime. And the more you clear out, the more you're starting to find out about yourself. I always tell people, if you really want to know about your life, not other people's, because I know other people are, they try to dabble in that. Like, what's your first house? What's your second house? Are you a Gemini rising? Or are you, Aquarius cusp? All these different things, because people are wanting to know how they can stop stuff. And a lot of times when you're chosen, because there would be a different time, my not being smart, I was telling people, I was finding out all these different things, like, oh yeah, you want to find out about, the different, signs that you're connected with within your birth, your birth chart. And we were talking and not realizing these are certain things you do not want people to know, because if people knows your birth date and this and that, but if and then what makes it so good, and thank God for that when collective universe knows that you're you dabbling and trying to orchestrate somebody's life to go on a way that you desire, not way they want to desire. You're taking away free will. People want to start knowing what's your moon sign. What's your sign together? I don't like people asking me that. I don't tell, I see a lot of tarot readers say that. I'm like, oh God, please stop. Even though you could be heavy in faith and you already know you can't touch, but please don't give the devil something to do. Don't be doing that. But there's a lot of times where a family does know your birth date, the date, the time, the place you were born. They start, when you start doing stuff, some people dabble. It's like, oh, okay, I know their chart. But a lot of times, universe ain't stupid. Ain't nothing they do by accidental purposes or coincidence. Everything is happening where you want to. But especially when they know you're that one that they chosen, they know when somebody's, trying to get into some stuff to try to, destroy it, manipulate it, or trying to make sure you have barriers that you don't succeed in life, and all those different things. So they tend to want to know this information so they can be able to be 10 steps ahead. But they don't realize, the universe is like, I know what you're doing. Maybe the people that you're working with that you want to know this, because a lot of times I even told people, I know people get readings on me. Universe is a silent alarm. They tell me, hey, somebody did tarot reading on you. Somebody did some stuff on you, because they're always trying to find out, what's going on. People need to realize, universe is going to allow you to know what they want you to know. If it's easy access for you to be able to get these people's information on that, we already put in a different code to where we'll leave that right there and let you think that's it. Or we'll expose something in their life that we want you to know. Or it'll be fragmented for you just to have this when it's totally something opposite over here. So when you're going through these different changes in life, there's a lot of spiritual hunters out there. You got the good ones and the bad ones. You're trying to allow yourself to not get into the demonic entanglement. You're going through different stuff like this. You're being monitored. Different people are copycatting. People are taking stuff and trying to use it as their very own. And these are the different things where you're moving on in life. You had to go through the ups. You had to go through the downs. You had to go through the setbacks. The constant delays. These are the different things. Even when God says delays, setbacks, barriers is blocked. These are blessings in the sky. And I said, excuse me? That don't feel like blessings in the skies for me. But then it was just like, broaden your perspective. See a bigger picture on these different things. Maybe this is something that you wanted. You're moving through your understanding, not through collective understanding, not through the masses, deities, gods, spirit guides, archangels. These are different things that's unfolding into your life that you had to be going through certain catastrophes, different stuff that was really just going on and hit the fan into your life, because this is how you're going to get to know yourself. If it always has to be smooth sailing, what would you ever learn? What would you ever achieve? What would you ever be grateful for? Or what would you ever appreciate? And there's a lot of times when I look at stuff in my life that I really went through, and there'll be times I've been crying. I'm very transparent. I'll say there's times I cry until my eyes swell shut. There's times when y'all saw me where I was just going to hell off, or I was just very emotional. I show faucets like that. I don't like crying on video. Some people feel like, they watch YouTube or they watch different social media sites, and some people, oh, you can do this, and criticize you for different things. And certain times I can understand that. But when you're on this new journey, I tell people it's not easy getting in front of a camera like this and telling your life for it to be open for judgment, because there's a lot of times people will encourage you. People will uplift you and give you so much praises and saying, I'm glad you had the strength to speak on the experiences that you have in life, even when it's something very delicate that you're opening yourself up to. And these are the beautiful things that has a beautiful but tragic way. It's like a beautiful tragedy, basically, when you're going through these different things in life, and you had to be able to go through. It was like a different screenshot. It was like a thumbnail that I use, where it says you go through the struggles. It takes a very strong person for you to go through the ups and downs, go through the setbacks and the constant disappointment. And then when you overcome all these struggles into your life, you start looking back at all the different things that took place in your life that really try to destroy you. There's a lot of things that's out there sent to destroy you. But if you're on that path, you're on God's purpose. He's going to allow certain things to take place into your life, because you have to be aware. Because a lot of times there could be so much danger around us, and we're in our phones, we're texting, we're not paying attention, all those different things that's taking place. You just really don't know. There's like caution signs all around you. It reminds me of this screenshot I had where they said, always give God graces, always give him gratitude. You don't know what he's protect you from, because you don't know. I had people where, when it was certain things that go on in life, and I don't go into detail about that, where people try to unalive me just by walking out my house in different times. And if it wasn't by certain things that got my attention, like, a bark, I would turn around, I wouldn't be here today. Have a permanent third eye, because there was so many people that was trying to end my life over my situation, from me speaking the truth about what has took place in my life and all that. And so, I had to be, going through all those different changes. But it was just like, when you're moving forward, you see these different things about how you're protected, how you're loved. You had to go through these personal battles, spiritual battles, on different things that took place into your life that really shook you, and it made me look, I'm not gonna lie, it made me look at people a lot different. It made me look at life a lot different. I had to be able to be in my life and be able to tell myself, have that self-talk. Not everybody's coming in your life to destroy you. People we're all each other's, we're student teachers. We're learning different things about our life, and a lot of times you get growth, you get strength from the harsh things that you go through. You lost loved ones, you may be going through a divorce, or you may have, a child done passed over. You're going through a lot of different things that's going on in life. You may be homeless, going through divorces, your family's all, y'all all bumping heads. All these different tragedies are going on in life, where it's really teaching you how to learn. And a lot of times it's hard for us to really learn things through traumatic situations. And these are the different things that connect with us. And when I really look at it, a lot of times you find your strength through the darkest moments you go through your life. And I really believe that. It's just from my, IMO, in my opinion, the way I view different things. You go through the most harshest things, because if you are able to be protected or shielded from these different things, you need to be able to tell the world. You don't know whether you're going to be a spokesperson for ambassador or a mascot for that you've gone through something so bad, and it took you a while to heal, but a lot of times from that exact moment that you went through that really hit you the most, this will be some kind of I don't know if you want to call it template, but it'll be a certain connection into your life. This is where it's leading you towards your purpose. I see a lot of people, I've seen probably like a handful of people that said, Rosalind, I didn't have anything very traumatic into my life. It was just, it was time for me to shift where I experienced life at a certain level or a certain vibration. And when it came for me to have to elevate towards that, other things start coming into my life, because it's like, before I started doing my spiritual journey, and especially doing YouTube and stuff like that, I didn't know nothing about, destiny swapping or, love spells or monitoring spirits or, spirit totems, narcissists, codependency issues, covert narcissists, sadists, and sociopaths. I didn't know anything about those. And then I started noticing a lot of these things that held those characteristics. It was playing in my life, and I never knew it. It's like you had these attachments towards you, and since the beginning of time. And it's like, even when you open your mind up and you go towards the Akashic records, and you really go through I think it's like lucid sleeping or whatever, or you're going through a guided meditation, you're really connecting with Mother Earth, and you're like, I want to be able to know this about myself. I want to know deep connection, because there's a lot of things like when I first started and I started knowing about the spiritual gifts that I had, or spiritual gifts that I did that I thought was normal, but it's a spiritual gift, go through those different things. A lot of times we have like very strong, spiritual gifts, but if it's like you go towards a psychiatrist, I always suggest, if you go to a therapist or a psychiatrist, please get one that's very spiritual. Because sometimes you go through those ones they're not woke. Yeah, they're hella educated, but there's some folks who be putting you down for a 5150 and have you locked up for like 72 hours trying to get you tested, see there's something wrong. But anybody who is really thinking about going through therapy or going to a psychiatrist or anything like that, please get ones that are like holistic. Please do that. Because it's like when people are just so used to seeing what's in front of them, that's all they see. They don't want to think about all the different stuff. People are like, oh, we got reptilians, we got incubus, succubus. I mean, there's so much in this world. If we were made and you see all these weird animals and stuff, I'm like, when the heck did God create that? Because I've seen some kind of bird that looked like a chicken, Doberman pinscher, and a duck all at one time. I'm like, when did God conjure this up? It's like you just don't know what go lurking in the night. You're seeing little fairies and little sirens and seers and stuff like that. The wind days and skinwalkers and there's a lot of different stuff that comes out here to where it's been hidden in plain sight. It's been like that for a long time. People start shape shifting and stuff in videos and stuff. It's just really crazy. But it's like when you're breaking these generational curses, I mean, you really gonna go through hell, because people are like, man, I can't get a break. You're not. This is like the fight of life. It remind me if I really want to be dramatic. Anybody ever watch like Buffy? Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or Angel, Stranger Things, and what else? True Blood and all that stuff. It's like when they came to the end, it's Buffy and them had hell mouth under Sunnydale, and it was like it was like some kind of scythe. I think that's what it's called, a scythe, where it's a vampire slayer scythe, where it, you do some mojo jojo on it, it supposed to awaken every daggone slayer across the world, because it's just one is gonna know, because it's like when you lose that one, there's another one that rises up. It's just like, it's just like empaths. I tell people I have different, I ain't trying to get no copyrights and stuff like that. Okay, good. But you going through different stuff like that to where you're starting to broaden your horizon with different things that you didn't believe that was here. So you'd be amazed the different things that's here. You made me think about gnomes and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, those little cute things. I'm like, yeah, and people be showing them on video, like people like this has to be CGI and stuff like that. But you start, when you're going through that spiritual journey, you start learning so much about yourself, so much about your surroundings. They always tell you, pay attention to your surroundings. You don't know what's going on around you. I've been seeing a lot of different TikTok videos where they were showing different things was taking place, where, you know, people get married and all of a sudden you see somebody around them just doing some little juke right there, and people seeing that mess and busting that up real quick. Go dance over there. Like, what's going on? Go dance over there. We'll talk about it later. This is your special day, and get that person up out of here. You know, be different stuff that's going on where people are trying to put spiritual blocks in front of you. You know, it just seemed like when you start healing, you're in a peaceful place, and next thing you know, boom, you know, a bomb drop on you, and it's like, here you go through another obstacle. Because it's like obstacles are built up there for open opportunities for you to explore more about yourself that you were not, you know, you were ignorant to. It was shut off from you for a while. Because I feel like when I see the different insight that's been sent to me, it's like when we were over there in spirit world, whatever, you got 50 million daggone, you know, it's like you a jack of all trades. You probably got about 1 million different gifts. But when you come into this vessel, those are the type of things that's all mystical, you know, magic, all that different stuff. You can't do this in this spirit suit. You in a suit, you're the entity, you know, the spirit that's doing all these different things. So you have to gradually, there'll be some of us have about 5 or 6 gifts. You know, and sometimes if you're not spiritual, they always got text names for it, for a mental illness or a disability. You know, and a lot of us, you know, you're autistic, ADHD, ADD, OCD, all these different things, and it has some kind of spiritual attachment to it, to where, especially if it's somebody on the spectrum, they're hellified sensitive. They're more sensitive than us. You know, our thought process goes like this. Anybody on that spiritual, you know, spectrum, theirs is all over loop-de-loop and stuff like that. It's like the Screamer, whatever crazy, scary, daggone, you know, roller coaster you ever seen. That's what it is. And their train of thought goes 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I don't even know. God bless them. You know, I've had different people that I know, whether I was related to them or, you know, I knew people that were on the spectrum, and I said those are God's people. Those are God's special gifts. Those are the whistleblowers. Those are the secret holders, you know, because they move different than us. You know, they speak different, whatever. And there's no disrespect towards anybody. That I feel like that's a beautiful way. But a lot of times when you're dealing with people on that caliber, it can be very, you know, very tedious and stuff like that, especially if you don't have patience for it. But you're going through these different transformations that's like it's hidden, you know, and it's like the more it hits, it's the more you start seeing of yourself. And then the more you start seeing yourself, you're doing these energetic clearings. So a lot of time you may be experiencing, you know, deja vu, you know, be certain things like I've been here before, but this is my first time being here. You know, and I've said this in different videos. You have parallel selves. There'll be a lot of times you can cry and you don't know, and it can feel something very, very catastrophic that's going on. You don't know why you're crying. And it could be your parallel self done passed on. You're feeling something like a piece of you is just gone. And there's like different, you know, different parallel entities of yourself. If anybody ever seen the movie The One with Jet Li on it, I love that freaking movie, because it was just like different ones where they were showing him and his wife, and I forgot the girl's name because she played on Bly Manor. I think the Michael Flanagan show, Bly Manor, and Haunting a Hill House. I love her. The mama was the one. And she was in that, and they were having different lives. And I know there was another movie, I think she played in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where she was like, I don't know how to do this, you know, and she was in this one of those bars, like hibachi bars, and they were making food, and she's over here being, you know, the chefs that got the magical hands and stuff like that, creating fire and then light the food with the hand and stuff. And, you know, all those different things. And she was like, I don't know how to do this, but she's like, yes, you do. You've always done this. It's like, no, I haven't. I've always did this. Yes, you do. It's just in this world. So it'll be different things. Like some can be very familiar to you. You can go, you know, you're being drawn to certain things. It's like, how do I know this place? You know, and it can get very confusing for you and sometimes emotional. These are the different parts of yourself. It's like you're a blooming onion. You know, and those are very good, especially put on ranch dressing. But it would be like you're taking spiritual layers of yourself, and you're finding so much about it. Sometimes it can be very traumatic. Sometimes it'd be, oh my God, I'm this. You know, I found out so many different gifts that I didn't know I had. You know, it'd be different things that could be very, people are like, oh my God, that's cool. Oh my God, no, it's not. You know, it's like, especially if you're like, you know, I'll tell people, if you're an anchor or you're a conduit. That, I mean, it comes a lot of that, especially if you're a trans medium and stuff like that. And it's like when I connect with people that's, you know, from the other side, there's sometimes I see the transitions or the different illnesses and sicknesses they have, and I'll have it, you know, it'll be something that's like I swallowed that, and all of a sudden I got issues going on for a few minutes, and I have to cash out for a minute. I can't, you know, I got to be out for a minute. Don't just talk to nobody. And, you know, those are not, you know, I say, yeah, it may sound cool to you, but when you walking around and you know, you seeing somebody on transition, and it could be in something very, you know, horrific, all of a sudden you're feeling that for a split second, and they done passed through you and went on to God. You know, a lot of us are gatekeepers, because there's sometimes you'll have a feeling that people are passing away, or there's a major shift that's going to really rock the world, you know, and then next, you know, boom, it happens. You know, when I've been doing this for 8 years, there's a couple of videos when I just speak, you know, I freestyle, I just, you know, write my little, you know, content title down, and I just go. And there'll be certain things that I just say, I'm talking on the side of my neck, and next thing you know, like, girl, do you know you said this, and next thing you know, like a day or two it happened. I'm like, what? You know, and people be sending me different emails and stuff, and they're like, Roslynn, I got chills. Look at remember what you said on the live chat the other night, and then all of a sudden you know, because I kept on getting stuck on one image, and it was like different things was coming around for, you know, and it's crazy when I miss my live, but it would be so many powerful entities within everybody, and it's connecting together. It would be like stuff be glitching, and it's like, hey, cover yourself, shield yourself, because you're putting too much energy in the video, and it's messing up the signal. So it'll be different things that I would speak on, and end up happening. So it'll be these different things that are taking place in your life where, you know, you've been chosen for these different things. You know, I've said it before, you know, I didn't realize, like, when you were really catching hell through your life, I didn't realize you were the blessing of the person where if your ancestors didn't clear that off, but they ain't supposed to come back, guess who's doing it? It ain't just you that's clearing your own, like you clearing karma, you clearing your slate, you know, anything you did in the world that went against God and nature and stuff like that, whatever, you paying for hell right now. And on top of that, with all your daggone ancestors too, you taking one for the team. But hold up. I'm like, wait a minute, this is why I'm going through all this. Why couldn't y'all do this stuff first place? That's why we chose you, boo-boo. I didn't sign up for that. Yeah, you did. Okay, I was like, okay, I digress. All right, just protect me, guide me, do me what I gotta do, god dog. But you're going through all these different things where, I mean, you open up the truth, and there's a lot of people don't want you doing that. So you will have a lot of different things that you will go into in life, like having panic attacks, you know, can't keep a job. You know, it seems like everybody is just you against the world. Different things is coming up. Because when you start awakening, I'll tell people, you bring the worst out of some folks. Some people appreciate it and say, oh, you know, when I connected with you and, you know, I said all these different things and you helped me really understand myself. Because there's a lot of times people appreciate the different things you're helping them, especially when you're spiritually woke and you were like, oh, God, I went through that. And then that's the reason why God allowed you to connect with these certain people, because you went through this and they need some kind of guidance to be able to allow themselves to understand, I hit this mountain. I had my flag. There's different times that, you know, I'm going up, you know, scared of heights, you know, foot slipping, got cut, you know, then, you know, had to fight a rattlesnake, you know, different coyotes, whatever. Excuse me, I messing with my throat chakra. You know, different things like that. You're trying to, you know, achieve something you ain't never did before. And if this is something that has been revealed to you within life of a veil being snatched, because it's like every time you do a spiritual cleansing or a spiritual release, or you're cutting cords, or the different things you're doing this to become a better version of yourself, you start getting a little bit of knowledge, of insight about different things. What's your purpose? What am I supposed to guide myself to? You know, how am I going to open myself up? I really want to know about myself on a deeper level. And when you get to that, I want to know who I really am. You know, excuse me, y'all. Somebody keep messing with my throat chakra. I'm going to keep speaking my truth. If you don't like it, stop watching. Quick and easy. But anyways, you know, you're going through these different things where you're changing, you're transforming, you're elevating, you know. And you're starting to love this part of yourself. Like, you loved yourself, and sometimes we don't, depending on what you're going through. And you start loving the new person you are. You know, a lot of times when we're going through these spiritual battles, you know, you're healing, you're having to let go, you know, you're trying to see things, you know, as a bigger picture than what, you know, fear might be telling us, or sadness might be telling us, or through hurt may be telling us. You're trying to see this, how do I heal from these different things? How do I acknowledge and accept so I can move on, you know, from these different things that I'm going through. You know, it's just like, you know, when I told y'all I used to do videos every day. There'll be times I did like 12, 13 videos a day, you know, like weeks and weeks straight, and then wonder why the heck I'm tapped out. You know, I've been going through a lot of different, you know, changes in my life, healing. So it'll be certain things that's like, you know, I may say a snippet of this, or I might just not say that at all. You know, it's like I made peace with that. I really just don't want to do that. You know, it was just like with me talking about that little drastic thing at the beginning about, you know, a few minutes ago about me going through. I just didn't want to go through that, you know, be, you know, stuck on that, because I made peace with it. It'll be different things that really took place in my life that was very traumatic. You know, it was very hard for me to be able to wrap my head around that, you know, different things in my life, like, dang, people just want me deleted. You know, all because, I mean, I'm being me, but it's like being me, you being yourself a lot of times can be very triggering. Sometimes people just gravitate towards you, got that energy where you know, when you're one of those light workers, when you have a light as big as yours and you have a big light, and a lot of times you feel like you're not. You're like, I'm just a, you know, a little speck on this world, you know, billions of people, but there's something very special about you. You know, you attract a lot of things. You attract beautiful things, uplifting things, you know, miraculous things. But also at the same time, you're dealing with dark energies. You're dealing with low vibing people. You're dealing with low vibing of self, you know. There's days when, you know, you just think that nothing good is going to take place into your life. And it sometimes I feel like that. But you don't know you're going through a very huge energetic shift that's like taking place in your life that you had to be prepared for. You know, they always tell you know, get ready. This is that sign. You know, you're going through these different changes where you're going through different changes right now where there's a lot of people, and you may notice, you know, even with self, that you're moving through fear. You know, there'll be different things where when you were starting to grow, the sleepers don't want to wake up. Like they say, it's just like you snapping the shades early in the morning, and there's somebody still in a good sleep, and they do not want that sunshine coming in. They will do everything to shut that down. You know, and a lot of times, you know, I'm like, okay, you can shut yours down, but I'm going to still be raising mine up. So you can go over here and stay over here on your darkness side, you know, and still sleep while I'm rising and shining. You know, I'm not dimming my light. I'm going to keep speaking my truth. You know, I'm not going to be afraid to speak my truth, you know, and I'm allowing myself to keep getting better and better. And if I could be able to experience a certain thing that goes in my life that was very traumatic, or, you know, feeling like you couldn't really get over it, you know, or even heal from those different things, you know, I had that opportunity to be able to share that experience with other people. Because there's sometimes we go through some very traumatic things. Confirmation, you go through very traumatic things and you really don't understand how can I be able to get through this. And, you know, and I know it's a cliche and people roll your eyes at that. It takes time. It gets better with time. And it's not like, you know, when somebody passes over. I always tell people, you know, especially if somebody's like, oh my God, you know, this person died 18 years ago. Why are you still in your feelings about that? And I mean, there's times I really chin checked and put, you know, really went off on somebody. You don't know what that person's been through with the person that they lost. You don't know what kind of connection they had. So you can't never tell somebody how to grieve. You can't never tell somebody how to, you know, get out of that. That's something they have to be able to do on their own. You can encourage them. You can speak goodness over their life. You can pray for their healing and all those different things. But you should never try to tell somebody they have an expiration date on dealing with grief. Everybody deals with things different. And it's just like we're going through a ego death. You're going through a pride death. You know, these are the different things. And here goes again. You know, you're going through all these different things where you're not moving through fear anymore. You're not moving through ego or that lower self of you, because it's like that higher self is really, you're feeling like you don't know what it is. It's like if you've been having that vibe like, I don't feel a shift. Like, you know, it's like the more you allow yourself to step out that comfort zone It is not comfortable, because it's just like, I used to hear that. I used to get so pissed off. Like, why? I'm not comfortable going through what I'm going through. But it's just the fact is, you're not moving, you're not healing, you're allowing yourself to accept this is what this is. When this was only supposed to be temporary, this is only for a moment, this is only for a season. You had to go through these things. If you want to really stand in your power, you're going to have people mocking you. You're going to have people lying on you. You're going to have people doubting you. Or they're going to do everything they possibly can to make sure you don't succeed. And when you're not allowed, I'm saying, I'm allowed God to deal with that. Like I used to say, those are God's problems. No, God ain't got no problem. You got the ultimate solution. It's like these things you're going through is the problem. But you were the main solution. You were the equation. These are the different things that you're going through to be able to stand into your higher self. You're going through certain things into your life. There's certain things you speak on. There's certain things you don't. Like I said, I have to do that with myself too. Because it'll be just like, you don't want to talk back that energy. You really went through this, and just like allow you doing your part. A lot of other things, it's like, God, you doing your best, God gonna do the rest. You got your spirit guides. You don't know what God's working out for you. You don't know what your spirit guide's working for you. They know your needs. They know what you need. They know what you want. They know what you're trying to achieve. They know what you're trying to connect with. And they know that. But they will, we will always, and they say, always look at your obstacles and your mishaps as a blessing in disguise. It's rerouting you towards something better. You may be heading towards something that's something you really wanted, or you can be like, oh God, I wish I had this, and God will be looking at you and your higher self like, boo-boo, think bigger. Why are you using so minute? Why, this will whatever, why are you thinking small? Think big. Think really big. Don't think so small of yourself, saying, oh my God, this is so big, I can't achieve that. Oh, so you just renting that out on your destiny that you couldn't achieve? You don't know what you're able to achieve until you allow yourself to be able to do that. And, and going through changes into our life is not easy. Right now, like I told people the other day, there's these powerful conjunctions, Pluto, whatever, Cancer, whatever, I forgot what it was. I think it's in Leo, where you're going through a lot of cycles where they're forcing you. Whatever trauma you have been comfortable with keeping. A lot of time we use pain as a best friend. That's my ace boon. This is my boo. This is my ride or die. Your pain shouldn't be that. Because you were brought here on this earth to do something so much more. You are not your problems. Those problems can create bigger problems for you. But then if you allow yourself to take the high road, this can have so many solutions for you. You don't know where it's leading you to create better for yourself. And within your community, with the things that you're trying to step on a platform to be able to do. And for you to be able to do that, you had to be brave enough to let me walk in the unknown. It's scary. It really is. Some people love to challenge or change. Hell, I don't. But I know if I want a better life and I know I want more of myself, I had to be able to be careful about who I connect with, who I sleep with, what I speak on, what people I choose to hang out with. Am I listening to myself when I say, hey, you need to rest, or you need to go in solitude. This is the time to go in hermit mode. You're going through all these different things. You're seeing so much stuff play out, not just in your life, but other people's lives. You're seeing how different times, you don't feel like no changes is going on in your life. You could have been a person like I used to be. I'll go tit for tat. I could be at that person. I could say some real volatile stuff to you, make you just question your whole existence and be ready to jump off a bridge somewhere. And I used to be that. Now it's at that point where a lot of times everything don't need your last say. And I used to be that person, like I used to get my butt whipped for that. You always gotta have a last say. No, I don't. Pow. I'm like, no, I don't. He was like, go sit down, don't say another word. I'm like, what'd you say? Nothing. And just walk off. And now I had to be in that point, like, not everything. Sometimes it's like God will allow somebody to trigger you, or allow certain things to take place in your life just to see if you learned a lesson. Because he said, I know you got a smart mouth, and you that type of person where you holy and hood at the same time. I'll pray over you and beat the holy hell out of you. The next one, I'm a mama with a hood playlist. If it really had to go something down to that, now I had to be, is this worth my energy? Is this worth my time? If I have this discussion, is somebody on that vibration, a mature vibration, where I have an intellectual conversation with them, and this is going to be something where we can squash this and go on. I had to really think about that. you know, and I noticed that certain things that I went through, certain things that happened, and I was like, you know what, I'm proud of myself, because this would have made me take a flight. This would have had me in bars. This would have had somebody in, you know, you would have been finding them in different locations, like, let me play with your cerebellum a little bit. I ain't got no problem with that, you know. And there'll be all those points. Now I'm just like, man, this ain't worth my energy. This is not going to take me nowhere except in an argument. These are the different things that I had to understand. There are certain people who are just wired like that. And I had to let them be able to be comfortable in that mess. Like, hey, this ain't my problem. Or if I see something, you know, you're going through growth. Where I used to be a person like, oh, they be like, oh, this happened to me. And I knew it was somebody who really hurt me. And I said, hell, if it would have been me, the mess would have been worse. That's what the hell you get. And I used to be that type of person. Now it's like, God, I'll throw karma and I'll see it right in there. And that's why I know it was growth. When I seen how people had got enjoyment out of seeing me struggle, seeing me suffer. You know, they really, I was like the butt of the joke to everybody that, you know, that was in my surroundings. Like, it was just so funny to them to see me broken like that. And it's just like, don't take revenge. You know, even when I'm right, you know you're going through strength, and where your silence is your peace, baby, that's growth. When you have every opportunity, a gateway to either give somebody the boot or give somebody the hands. It's like, my fist gonna beat up your face, or your face gonna beat up my hand. It's gonna be one of those. And you took the high road and said, you know what, this is not applying to what I'm trying to grow to. Okay, I caught the shade, let me go and keep moving. Having to not take it personal. I have to be like that a lot. Like, don't take it personal. And there'll be a lot of times where I'm just like, God, why you trying to touch my inner gangster? Because I'm trying to leave her alone. I'm trying to leave that hood alone. I can't keep Sasha in a goddamn cage, y'all, because that one come out, it can get very brutal. And I've seen what I was able to do when I get heated like that. And when I know where I got like that, and it scared me along with other people that were around me and like, Roslynn, you okay? And I don't know, and you got to come back and tell me what I did. No. Because that was like when I was very unhinged. So it got to that point where I had to say, everything don't need your response. Things definitely don't need your reaction unless it's something beautiful, something positive. I want to have a positive reaction. I want to have, oh my God, I can't believe it type of reaction. But if it's like, here, you trying to catch me slipping, I'm in my peace, and that's irritating you, and you want to bring me out of that. You know, people be playing in your energy. People be playing in your, you know, trying to cross boundaries and stuff like that. These are at those times you need to be solid on your boundaries. It ain't about people, oh, they think that they know. No, it ain't the fact that I'm acting like I'm better than certain people. It's just the fact is there's certain energy I don't want to get attached to. You know, I see it was even harder for me to be the bigger person and not go square up with you. Let's take it to the streets. You want the smoke, you want the fade. It's at that point in my life, ain't nothing worth that. You know, even got to the point where, you know, I used to say I hated people. And you never want to get to that point where you start hating people. You are putting too much power in a person that ain't even worth that. You know, take your power back. Don't allow somebody to be in your energy so much, or somebody has hurt you so brutally that you are totally giving up your power of peace. You know, a lot of times they tell you, and I have to still learn that, not forgiving them for them, you giving that for you. You deserve peace in your life. There's certain things that is going on in your life that was very unjust. It was not fair. You should have been able, it would be certain things that shouldn't even happen to you, but it happened. These are the things that happen, and it happened for a reason. And sometimes it takes us a minute through that healing journey to really understand, why did I go through these different things? Why did I have to have constant setbacks? I worked hard. You know, I have to deal with that here. You know, got monetized. You know, I got people, when I say the most positive video, and it said it had negative influences on it. And I'm like, I seen a lot of videos on here that had nothing to do with spirituality, and this is all about, this is some dark stuff, and people still getting sponsored for this, and I'm talking about forgiving somebody, and you take my video down. You know, I knew that wasn't nothing but folks that didn't want me speaking on the different things that I wanted to, or this was triggering to them. You know, people are sitting up here watching you, and they're very triggered. They're getting very unhinged because you're moving forward. You're like, yeah, you see your enemies, but God got that. You know, you're protected, but there's a certain thing you got to play your part in that too. You know, saying affirmations, keep forgiving. Keep allowing yourself to stay prayed up. You need to do that right now, because when you're in the midst of change and you're hitting different pinnacles that you didn't even expect yourself to do, oh, trust me, you got all type of things just coming at you, trying to join in. You had people that lost you, or they lost you. You didn't lose them. People that fell out your life that you held dear. People that, oh, they ain't gonna get out of that. Oh, Lord, they're gonna be still doing that, whatever. You starting to surprise them. You can, with so little, you can do so big. Things that you felt weren't necessary was very necessary. Even the little things count as something huge that you're going through in your life. If you can go a whole day without thinking of the bad things that you went through in a day, you winning. When you have a chance to clap back at somebody, cuss them out, or make fun of them when they went through a downfall, you chose not to. There'll be so many times, like I said, I've seen karma happen to people, and God, like, you gonna laugh? Why not? Because that makes me them. They took entertainment out of seeing me cry. They took entertainment by, creating an audience for them to see me in a bad place. Or people always try to wish so much on me just for my life being what it is. And it's like, you want that story. You want the glory, but you don't want the story. You're not, it'd be so many things you're going through in life where people wish, where you can finally get to a certain place, and they're like, oh my God, I wish I had that. But it's like, you're wanting that big thing that person has had. You may be a person that made a video and all of a sudden you went viral and stuff like that. Or you did something on TikTok and you went viral, and then people get mad because you getting that retraction. You getting people this, subscribing to you and wanting to follow you and hitting you in the DMs and, oh my God, just giving you all kind of encouragement. And people want that. I was like, it's like people when I talk to one-on-one. I'm going to tell you this, to say that, to say this, to say that. A lot of people want your glory, but they don't want the story. They want that throne, but they ain't going to walk through the castle to try to get to that throne. They want to just step up there. It's like, okay, you want this life, but are you willing to get ridiculed? You're willing to have people wipe you out, trying to wipe you out left, right. You have, things just snatched away from you for no appointed reason. Are you willing to go through that? Having setback after setback after setback. Y'all see, you want the good thing, but you don't want to go through the process like I had to go to get to this, or you had to go to get to this. They just want the good part, but they forgetting. Are they willing to go through all the stuff that they put on you? No. Because there's a lot of things that's going on in people's life where they find it so entertaining when you can impact somebody in a traumatic way. And, and if that mess ricochets and come right back, all of a sudden you all hell and broke loose. You're starting to feel that. That's like, I told y'all in the video the other day, 2024. That's number 8, karma. Anything that you're coming in, that people are starting to give you a side seat view. That's why it'll be different time when somebody wish something on me. I say, I'm pray for you. Pray for mercy on you. I ain't got to do anything. I used to be that type of person, wish the worst on people. And it's like anybody who's moving, like if you have no intentions except good intentions with people, and you're coming in with some, some kind of, tragic agenda, like you really trying to, hurt people. You always going to end up, you putting yourself on a hangman when you're doing that. You putting your head on the chopping block when you do that, Especially if you're a person that's good and you're doing that. That's your biggest L right there, is when you're doing something when all people had was good intentions for you. You always going to catch hell in your life. It may not be now and it may not be later, but it's going to happen. It's going to impact you, and it's going to make you think about every little thing that you did to do this stuff. So you're going through all these different changes in your life, and it's not easy. You're going through different things where you have mental breakdowns all the time. But these are the sacrifices and changes we have to do to become a better person. So it's just like when you're opening up Pandora's box. Anybody know about Pandora's box? All hell broke loose when curiosity killed the cat. Brought all kind of hell on earth just because you wanted to be nosy. Or you wanted to see when that box where it clearly said don't do it. It just reminded me of like the movie Evil Dead and the Necronomicon. If this thing is made with human skin and it got teeth, why the heck you messing with it? Leave it alone. You ain't trying to be a whole horror movie by yourself. You got enough stuff going on in your life. But all the changes are taking place with your life. You got to be gentle with yourself. You're learning yourself. You're healing yourself. And it's just fact you're experiencing all new definitions of what life truly is when you're on that vibe of that spiritual, that spiritual path. So they're telling you, you're going through so many different things. And I said earlier, there's a lot of different things that's coming up into your life where you're facing a lot of things that really scarred you. You're not just clearing it from this life, you're clearing it for the other life. And these are some different things that really cut deep with you. And you have to be able to face those things, because it's like God really wants to give you something very beautiful, but it cannot be consumed if you're still holding on to stuff. And people are knowing that. There's a lot of people. Even when you feel like nobody watching you, trust me, you got a lot of people watching you. You do. Just like if you're a TikToker or like YouTube, just because a lot of times sometimes people who watch my videos don't want to put a thumbs up because they know that helps out in the algorithm. I don't want to put comments because it helps out in the algorithm. But I said at the same time, you're still watching. You're probably taking notes or whatever. And it's not saying that in a condescending, arrogant way. But it's like, I know, when people don't want better for me, they watch my videos. They try to find some kind of gap where they can feel like, let me sabotage them. Let me sabotage her. Let me block her. Let me do this. Let me get her blacklisted. I don't want anybody believing her because she's fake. She phony is that. All those different things. But I said, shoot, I'm transparent. I tell about my past, the stuff that I've gone through, because I want people to know when you're going through this journey, don't never be ashamed of the things that you did back then. Because, there'll be certain things that come up like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm so stupid. Oh my God, wow, that is embarrassing. And it's just like, did you learn the lesson? You're going to do it again? Okay, a lot of times you got to go through that just to learn. Don't do that no more. Now, you see what happened when you chose to go down that way, and these are the different things that took place. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. We can't be held, or, our hand held through our whole life. There's sometimes you're going to be stepping on war zones. And when you step on war zones, it's like you having a thing around your eyes, and there's like live mines, those little things, some detonators or whatever, and you're doing that throughout life when you're trying to be in your authentic self. The devil don't want you doing that. The devil don't want you doing that. He like you when you fake, phony, and you ignorance is bliss for you. There are a lot of times people happy, because they ain't woke. Some people, when it comes to certain things, now I'm not talking about that. There's some people that's happy. They're very woke because they know what they did to have to get out of that situation. Like, I was always thinking negative about myself. I was very pessimistic. I never felt like I was deserving of anything good because there's so much bad stuff that happened in my life. I don't have people love me, the way I felt like I loved. People always told me I don't deserve love, or I'm not deserving of this, or I didn't earn it. Different things like that. And it gets to a life and you sit back and you watch how your life was orchestrated and played out. And there's sometimes I look at certain things that I went through, and it'll be certain things I never thought I'd be able to get through. Never thought I would get over. I heal every day. I learn myself every day. Placing forgiveness every day. It's not easy to do that, especially when you have to be able to be okay without being able to get the sorry that you've earned. You truly earned. But you're like, it's okay, because these situations made me a better me. I went through certain things where I picked. I wasn't very selective about the people I came in connection with, but I appreciate those different things that they taught me, even when it hurt me brutally. And those are things I appreciate, so I don't want to be trying to talk about nobody, in a bad way like that or anything like that, so I'm over and done with that, but it'll be just the experience that I want to talk about, and not in, graphic, point A to point B verbatim in detail, but just be able to say a snippet. I went through these things. I was under constant spiritual attack, still going through it, but I had to be able to know God got me, my ancestors got me, I'm protected. I don't act like I'm the baddest thing walking, but I know me. I'm learning me every day. I'm paying attention to my surroundings every day. Learning different things when I disconnect of it. And then I was like, okay, this is the moral of the story. This is a subliminal. And then I'm like, wow, really? Oh, okay. Now I understand why it went that way. Or I understand why you put that blockage up. And you go through these different things because this is creating you. You can't have all the sticky goodness into your life and be a person that you breathe out abundance. You're consuming prosperity. All these, anything that's labeled of something that's very beautiful, very angelic, anything that's is touched by God, You know, you had to go through all those different things just to be able to get there. And it allows you to have more appreciation towards that fact. I'm glad y'all had people not support me because it showed me how to support myself. I'm glad I didn't have people in my life that loved me because it taught me to love myself even harder. I was pouring in everybody else's cup, and then when I needed a drink, you know, there's certain people who wouldn't mind giving me a whole daggone factory of something to drink because they were so grateful for me. But there's somebody who wouldn't even piss on me to put me out. It'll be those different things. And I'm still grateful for all of those because it showed me so much about me. If you don't have different things stepping into your life where it gives you some kind of ripple effect of making you feel like, oh my God, this is not going to happen for me, or anything that's trying to, constantly putting blocks up for you. So, you can't, make a brand out of that. If you don't go through that, obviously you're not doing something right. And I'll tell anybody, if anybody ain't, trying to put some kind of shade or throw some kind of salt on your success, you ain't doing it right. Because obviously, they always say, I had to be able to remind myself that robbers don't steal from empty houses, babe. There's something very special about you. And it's just at the point they're hoping that you don't discover that. And you're discovering it through everything that you go through. If you know you have that mindset, I want to know myself on a level that I've never be able to explore it for. Watch how the magic works. You've been going through a whole bunch of stuff at one time, and it's going to get you to where you energetically supposed to be. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video, y'all. Hope you have a blessed, safe weekend. Please be responsible at every little single thing you do, just by giving people, uplifts. Say a good word. Give somebody a compliment. Be an ear that they can really, they just need listening to, and that can really take them, somewhere. And just because you're doing it from the kindness of your heart, it's going to take you even further. If you feel like donating towards the channel, the Cash App is at the end, at the bottom in the description box below. If you want to email me, you have any kind of questions and stuff like that, serious, not don't play with me. I ain't got time for that. Just email, and everything's down there in the description box below. So I hope please have a safe weekend. Be safe and responsible every single thing you do. Much love to you. God bless. Shalom. I say namaste. Peace.